I sent a letter to him saying, "You interested in a building in D.C.?" And the daughter followed up, and I showed her the building, and she paid $5 million for it. My fee was $75,000, which is 3%, half of 3%, which was the listing commission. The owners were a bank out of Paris, France, and she bought it. It was 3 blocks from the White House, 1430 K Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. She bought this building and actually tore it down and then put a new building on it, and 72,000 feet. She built it and sold it for $600 a square foot. And that was top dollar because it was such a good location. Top dollar retail for condo offices, for lawyers, lobbyists. It's near the not too far from Capitol Hill and the legislation and where the lobbyists love to hang out. She paid about $250 a foot to remodel it, and 72,000 feet was the whole square footage. And you can see, I don't know how many is that, 9 stories probably. And it was on the corner, great location, and at a metro stop a block away. And when she sold it for $600 a square foot. But if you divide 70,000 into 5 million, that'll tell you how much a square foot the building cost. It took 3 years to remodel it, and it sold out real quick, within a year probably, because of the location. Prestige law firms wanted to be there, and lobbyists wanted to be there, and trade associations. Anyhow, the location. This is an example of that. And she profited about $16 million net after paying the remodeling costs, the reconstruction costs, advertising, brokerage fees, commissions. And what's that say up there? That says
your phone number, your cell phone.
March
your
14th, what?
2002.
2002. So it's about 19 years ago. 19 years ago. So that was the Toda family, one of their projects. They had a lot of projects. They owned Prince George's Plaza and several other buildings. They're still active.
How did you get connected or tied into doing a deal with them?
I can't remember. Somebody, I just wrote him a letter. And she followed it up. Why did I write Toda letter? Oh, George Berman. George Berman was a broker in his own business in Potomac. He lived in Potomac, just by himself. And he knew the Todas through his synagogue. And he knew that Toda had done extremely well investing in owning real estate. So that is the beginning and end of that story.
Okay.
Next, I would say I got interested in real estate because a friend of mine, Fraser Gardella, who lived in Chevy Chase View, Maryland, off of Connecticut Avenue in Kensington. He owned a shade shop. They made Venetian blinds for a lot of the builders, commercial and residential builders in the Washington metropolitan area, Potomac, Bethesda, D.C. And he said to me once, "Dick, you ought to get in the real estate business." And he was a successful fellow, a couple of years older than me. And I said, he knows what he's doing. And so I took my exam, 3 years apprenticeship, worked for Renee Levy in Wheaton. And that's when I began to see the value of real estate. And I remember Renee Levy saying to my mother, "You got to trust me." And that was a big, big word, very powerful word. You got to trust me. So I said, well, a lot of the wise and were Jewish investors in our area. So I said, Mom, we got to buy these things. I had to really pressure her to get them. Anyhow, we bought 3 houses over like 2 years. And about 4 years later, we sold them. They were in the Montgomery County area, Silver Spring, Wheaton. And we made about $100,000 net. So that was a wonderful return. And okay, so that's
Where did she raise the money to purchase those properties and finance that project?
Well, we owned an insurance business and we were brokers for Travelers Insurance. When my dad passed away, I think he left her 30 or 40,000. And then we had loans on all the properties, 3 of them. And that's where the money came from. And I said, you don't want to leave the money in the bank because the banks are lending the money out to speculators who are buying and selling houses. And that year was probably 1960. No, wait a minute, 60s, 57. Yeah, in the 60s. And God, houses were woo. I bought a house for $19,000 in that era in Kensington, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, Colonial. Kensington, Maryland. And it's now worth $650,000 easily. So the appreciation of housing has you just watch it grow, just grows. Probably since I've been around, average of 4.5% a year. Some years I've seen it grow 10%, other years 2%. But on average, it's probably 4 to 5% growth. So if you got a $400,000 house, 5% is $20,000. So if you held that on for 10 years, that'd be over 200,000 growth. Then you'd have to compound that, which probably add another 15,000 on there. So let me see. That takes care of our early introduction to real estate. Then I got my own broker's license, and we were working at 324 University Boulevard, Silver Spring, out of a house. My mother was a widow. We ran the insurance, and I brought the real estate business in, and she really didn't want me to. That was really what was amazing. And anyhow, I went out and got it, and very happily so. Moving forward to I guess 2010. I and Kurt Martz and Dr. Gupta, we formed a partnership, third, and we bought 60,000 square foot 2-story building without a basement. It was 300 feet long and 100 feet wide, 2 stories. A beautiful building built by Toda. And we paid him $10 million for it. And it was more of a flex building with like open spaces, large open spaces, 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet on the second floor. First floor is rented out to some pharmaceutical research companies. So he wanted to get rid of it. So we bought it, and took us about a year to convert it. And we put about $4 million into it, and about $1 million worth of interest over 3 or 4 years, and then we sold it out for $18 million. So that was a profit over 5 years of selling condo offices. And we had dentists buying there, we had psychiatrists buying there, we had a couple accounting firms, construction company, a mortgage company, a law firm, and there was 2 floors. So that was a very profitable hobby. Now, where we lost money was I bought a place in Baltimore and paid $30,000 for it, but it happened to be in a real bad area, which I thought was turning around, but it wasn't. Had drugs and crime. So, make a long story short, I put about $40,000 into remodeling it, $50,000. And when I sold it for about $20,000 and lost about $60,000. So that was because of the area. So that is key. Anything you want to do, you want to make sure it has transportation, good neighbors, attractive construction, maybe have some green space park or something, and no crime.
Sounds good. It's a good introduction and brief description of some of the projects. I think we'll leave the video at that.
Okay.
Length for now. Probably.
All right. Then my son, who's with me, and is Jeffrey Hyde, and he is getting pretty astute with all these figures and areas and profit centers. The concept is to anything you buy, you want to make a profit, a return on it. And the idea is, can you get a 5% annual return? Can you get a 20%, 40%? You know, what kind of return can you get? Can you get rid of it? Can you buy a property in year one and then sell it in year two and make 30%? Or can you buy it and sell it 3 years later and make 30%? So there's certain speculation in all of this. And you want to talk to get knowledge about the market, the location of that real estate.
Okay. Sounds good for now.
Sounds good for now.
Look forward to the next video.
We look forward to the next video. What are we going to call our video streaming link? What do you want to name it?
Conversations with Dick Hyde.
Conversations
Realtors.
with Dick Hyde, produced and directed, and edited by Jeffrey Hyde.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Hyde is the electronic wizard.
And you're the mind behind the
I'm
real
the-
estate
I'm the-
projects
I'm
and
the-
stock market trades.
So we'll go into some of these other avenues of investment, risk taking, and profit seeking.
All right. Sounds
down the
good.
road. Talk to you later.
See you later.
Adios, mi amigo. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.